Hey, kia ora whanau, you're here with me, the maoriwargamer, and today we'll be playing a Warhammer 40K battle report. Sure. Right, welcome whanau to mission 1 of my 8th campaign. That's 21 missions. This is mission number 22 that we've been playing through since we started the channel back in November last year. Growing so rapidly there, whanau, it is appreciated. But yeah, here we are, mission campaign number 8. And in this mission today, we see the Dark Angels face off against their enemies of the Crimson Slaughter, the Chaos Space Marine Army. Chaos Renegades here, Renegade Astartes. And here we are on the Death World of Ignis in the Ithaca system, where we'll be battling it out. So, as you know, the battle for Ithaca is raging on. Chaos, Xenos, Imperium, all these forces working to capture the planet. And so what's happened with this one is the Dark Angels were lured to this Death World of Ignis, a volcanic, fiery world of flame and desolation. A good recruitment world for the sector. There's some feral tribes that live on here, and some Space Marine chapters do their recruiting on this planet. So the Dark Angels were lured here by the Crimson Slaughter, and found themselves cut off. So we'll be playing the Maelstrom of War mission Contact Loss. So in this one, there's not going to be any Deathwing reinforcements, any Ravenwing reinforcements. It's pure Greenwing tactical Marines on this one. All our forces lined out. Dawn of War deployment, tactical objectives being played for it as well. Right, so we've got our objectives scattered across the battlefield of the fiery Death World of Ignis. Chaos Space Marines loaded on this side of the field. Dark Angels opposing them as always, as the Imperium does. And in this one there, final 75 power level battle. As we come into the finale of Season 2, we're going to bump up those battle values. So we've got a full 75 power level force of Chaos. Got a new Land Raider here, new to the channel, all ready to duke it out as the fate of the Ithaca system rages on. Imperium versus Chaos. Get excited for this battle. We'll go with Crimson Slaughter will be taking turn number 1. But before we go into that, we'll take a closer look at the armies that we'll be playing with today. Leading the Dark Angels, we have a battalion detachment led by an interrogator chaplain with a Crozius and a power fist and a bolt pistol. And Librarian Termiel with a 4-sword and a bolt pistol. We have a 10-man tactical squad and a 5-man tactical squad. 5-man tac squad, sergeant with a grab pistol and a power hammer and a las cannon. 10-man squad, we've got a melter gun, missile launcher, and a sergeant with a power sword. 5-man scout squad with 4 sniper rifles, a missile launcher, and camo cloaks. 5-man company veteran squad, we've got 2 plasma guns, 2 combi plasmas, and a sergeant with a power fist and a bolt gun. We have a company apothecary with a narthecium and a chainsword, bolt pistol. We have a chapter ancient, a company ancient there, sorry, with a standard and a bolt pistol. And we have a company champion with a bolt pistol, a blade of Caliban, and a combat shield, storm shield. A dreadnought with an assault cannon, a storm bolter, dreadnought power fist. 5-man devastator squad, sergeant with a melter gun, 2 multi-melters, and 2 grav cannons with grav amps. A razorback with a twin las cannon, and a rhino with storm bolter. Leading the Crimson Slaughter, we have a battalion detachment led by a Terminator Sorcerer Lord with a 4 staff and a combi bolter, and a Terminator Lord with a 4 power axe and a combi bolter. 2 5-man Chaos Space Marine squads with bolt guns. 1 5-man squad here, plasma gun, and other one here, heavy bolter. 20 Chaos Cultists, all with auto guns. We've got a heavy stubber in there and a flamer. Sergeant with, Cultist champion with a sword and a shotgun. 5 Chaos Terminators with combi bolters. Sergeant here with a power maul. The Elephant Brothers, these guys are called. And this guy's got a Reaper autocannon. 10 possessed with horrific mutations. And a Chaos Land Raider here. Newest addition to the Crimson Slaughter forces. A true beauty, if you ask me. 2 twin las cannons. Heavy bolter. I think that's a Havoc launcher. Don't remember. But what a beauty she is indeed. And we shall go into Crimson Slaughter on turn 1. Right, finally, for end of the movement phase for the Crimson Slaughter, the Renegade Astartes on turn 1. Land Raiders moved forward. I thought it could move a lot further, but only 10 inches. It's got the Possessed piled in it, ready to unload from the front door. These guys moving up. This dude's keeping track of the objective number 3. Squad here moved out of cover. They're moving to take this tower by the looks of things. Nice try with a Dark Angel's gun line set up right there. My opponent rolled, got number 35, which is secure objective 5 for 2 turns. So that one's right in the middle of the battlefield in no man's land. It's going to be pretty tough to take that one. And the cultists here piling up in the building where objective 6 is located. So yeah, that's their movement. We'll go into the shooting. End of turn for the Crimson Slaughter on turn 1. Not a lot of action here as the game starting out. The mighty Land Raider here took a shot into the Dreadnought with its twin las cannons, and I ended up rolling 6s for that save. For the Lion, took that hit for days. What a beautiful guy. These guys here all did nothing. He tried to cast some powers, but nothing went off. And these guys just ended up advancing, getting behind the tower for some cover as the Dark Angels look to retaliate in turn 1. Right, finally, so end of the movement phase on turn 1 for the Dark Angels in this epic 75 power level battle, the greatest 75 power level battle that you'll ever see on YouTube. Razorbacks moving forward with the with its boys in the line of sight of that Land Raider over there. Spin around here and just mince up these cultists at the back. Scouts climbed up onto the whatever this is, the furnace, Ferrotonic furnace or something like that. Yeah, so scouts climbed up onto this furnace here, objective number 1. Not a lot they can do with that at the moment, but they're in a good sniping position right here. The company champion, the 5th company champion, rocking up, climbing over onto the containers to capture objective number 5. Dreadnought's racing forward. It's going to get into some power fist range of that Land Raider over there, backed up by the boys. We've got a devastated squad back here, 2 multi-melters. Oh, going to cause some beautiful damage. Ancient Apothecary here to heal wounds, holding objective 4, which is the one I rolled for, 34. So I need to hold that for 2 turns to get 2 victory points. You beauty. What's happening over here? The Rhinos racing forward as well, carrying the 10 tax, and 5-man tax squad with las cannon is moving forward. Got these guys in range. I don't like what they're up to. They've got objective 2. We've got objective 2, 4, 5, and 1 at the moment. Final. We are rocking it. At the end of this movement phase, we're going to go kick into the shooting phase and see some magic happen. So quick psychic phase there from Librarian Termiel of the 5th company. He has smited onto the Land Raider, just causing 1 mortal wound, and he's also cast aversion on it as well, giving it a -1 to hit, which is important with those deadly twin las cannons on there. So yeah, we're going to go into the shooting phase now. Alright, finally, so end of the shooting phase for the Dark Angels on turn 1. Not a lot done. We've captured some objectives, but really, didn't really do too much. We brought this down from 16 wounds to 9. Guess that's some good value, and also inflicted a -1 to hit. I used a stratagem there with the Dreadnought to give rerolls of 1s, which came in handy, but the Devastator squad didn't end up doing too well their job, unfortunately. So yeah, that's the battlefield. That's how it's looking at the end of turn 1. The lava's bubbling and boiling. These guys are furious, they're mad. And yeah, we're rolling into turn 2 for the Crimson Slaughter. Alright, so in the movement phase for the Crimson Slaughter, the elite Terminators of these Renegade Marines have dropped down behind enemy lines, are eyeing up these guys here who are holding that objective 4 and need to stop them from gaining the victory points for securing that one. My opponent's also generated 2 extra tactical objectives. He's got Assassinate, take out an enemy character, so that's going to help there with turmoil in that group. And also the other one was, again, secure objective 5, which they've been fighting for. Cultists here just stayed in the building doing nothing. Line of Marines move forward. Land Raiders steaming wreck, just driving forward. And these guys have moved up the line as well. So yeah, that's our movement phase. We go into Psychic. So end of the shooting phase, the mighty Terminators drop down with their Terminator Lord right here to provide those rerolls. All that heavy fire blew into just the Chapter Ancient and ended up killing him and securing my opponent first blood. So kudos to him, I say. Well done. Took a couple of wounds off here with a supercharged plasma gun from dude up here, and the cultists opened fire from the buildings into the champion, and he tanked all those hits. Didn't even break a sweat. My opponent's going to attempt to charge before we end this turn, so we'll go see how that's going to pan out. Right, and end of Crimson Slaughter on turn 2. Again, you know, a lot of stuff happening, but not a lot of stuff done. He only killed that guy. Got a successful charge in with the Land Raider. Took off 2 wounds off the Rhino here. Came into combat here. They didn't take out anyone. We took out one of theirs though. So that was great. What they've done though is tied up that objective, so that's no longer held by me. Oh, it's contested. And yeah, that's pretty much it. As we go into Dark Angels on turn 2, let's see what we can do for the line. Right, finally, so end of the movement phase for turn 2 of the Dark Angels. This tac squad here has fallen out of combat, and the guys in the Rhino here have just dropped out. Full 10-man squad, missile launcher, melter gun, sergeant with a power sword. Pack into these 4 Chaos Marines. They are shitting their pants seeing these guys come out, terrified. With 10 more mighty warriors, and we don't have to worry about who's owning that objective now. Also rolled off for my additional objectives. I've got I got 2 victory points for holding this objective here. So that puts me up 2, and my opponent got first blood. So that's 2 to 1 victory points so far on turn 2. I also ended up getting to defend objective 1, which my snipers have. They need to hold that for 2 turns for 2 victory points. We've got secure objective 5, which is this one here. My champion's got that one locked down, easy. And we've got number 53, no prisoners, so we just need to kill an enemy unit. The more we kill, the more victory points we get. 3 to 5, it's a D3. 6 is D6 victory points, I think. So yeah, ending movement phase as the ambush on Ignis continues. The Dark Angels are standing strong. Dreadnought's moving forward to take on these Terminators back here who didn't really do too much. Heavy weapons turned around. Grim Resolve will ensure that they're going to land their hits. And then these boys just unloaded from the Rhino, from the Razorback here. Targets locked onto these 20 cultist rabble. The furious forces of the Lion are going to unleash plasma devastation upon them. It's going to be a beautiful sight to behold there, whanau. So you got to stay tuned. You got to keep it locked to the channel, whanau. You do not want to miss a single second of this glorious, glorious action as we go into the Psychic phase. Psychic phase there. The mighty Turmoil channels all his energy, all his psychic mights, and unleashes a devastating smite that wipes out this completely, just crunches one of the Terminators there, and they're gone. You also cast a version to give them a -1 to hit until his next turn, so that'll keep them failing those rolls. Alright, finally, so we've got this Terminator Sorcerer, Terminator Lord here. His mates, his 5 buddies, is wiped from existence thanks to the heavy firepower of this devastated squad. Grav Cannon's mostly doing the big damage with the D3 damages there. 8 shots, D3 damages, Grim Resolve was beautiful there, whanau. And now he's the lone Terminator left. So I've already secured one of my objective, but if I can wipe out 2 more units, I'm going to get D3 victory points. So they bring me from 2 to something else. My opponent's currently got 1. So we've made 1 hit now, the last bit of firepower from this mob. And a single Stormbolter shot from the Dreadnought landed in. Now 1 wound left. Can he make that save? Let's roll it. Roll it here for the audience. Oh! And he's used his command point reroll already this turn. You saw it here on camera. We captured the beauty for you. A single Stormbolter shot. And that's two opponents taken down so far, but we'll come back and do a proper recap of the shooting phase. Just couldn't miss that sweet, seductive action. Right, finally, so end of the shooting phase as the battle for Ignis rages on in the Ithaca system on this desolate Death World. The Dark Angels came under ambush, significant ambush, by the forces of the Crimson Slaughter. And now, as we're coming to the end of turn 2 for them, they've managed to seize a number of secured points on the battlefield and began wiping out systematically, methodically, with grim resolve that the Dark Angels are known for, wiping out the Chaos forces. These 10 came out, boom, wiped out the 3 guys there. These guys just got to watch and enjoy. Chaos Terminators there, all 5 gone, plus the Terminator Lord, taken out by a stray bullet from him. These guys did nothing. This guy's dropped off, hide behind here, but still secured that objective. And we're taking out 8 of the 20 Chaos Cultist bunch behind this building. The veterans of the 5th Company, led by the Interrogator Chaplain, who's acting in place of Master Balthazar, who's somewhere else in the Ithaca system. This Battle Demi Company has been led and securing vital points. So Objective 6 is held in this tower as well. We're going to go straight into the fight phase and finish off the rest of these units. We've taken out 2 units so far, and the fighting is really ramping up. Might end the game before turn 5 actually. But who knows? I certainly don't know. You don't know either, whanau, so only place you'll find out is here on the channel. Make sure you don't miss any of it there as we're going into the charge phase. Alright, whanau, so end of Dark Angels on turn 2. The Elite Company veterans of the 5th Company and Interrogator Chaplain came in. I think we landed like 11 successful hits. We killed 11 in close combat. And then morale phase, in that turn they lost 17 guys. Plus this bad boy's causing -1 to leadership. So they didn't have much left in them after the veterans came in. That was really cool. Never had the veterans, had the honour of using the noble veterans in battle before. And yeah, it seems very fitting the story there. You know, Contact lost this Maelstrom of War mission. We can't call in the Elite Deathwing, who I normally do use. We've had to rely to our own elites, and they performed so well. So that's the end of this the turn for the Dark Angels. Just a quick sweep over the battlefield, over the fiery world of Ignis. We've only got, we took out 3 units, so I gained 1 objective for holding objective number 5 over here. So it puts me onto 3 victory points, and I get D3 victory points as well for taking out 3 units in the turn. So that was the Terminators, the Terminator Lord, And the cultists, these 3, 5, you saw it there, Whanau. So that puts me on to, that puts me on to 6 victory points to my opponent's 1 for First Blood. And balances out the game very nicely. Here are the forces of the Crimson Slaughter, this infernal demonic land raider. Still in combat with the Rhino. Got 5 Chaos Space Marines here, and that guy as well. So at the moment I've only lost 1 unit. Let's go sweep over the ruins, the graveyard. Here's the graveyard here. 5-man Chaos Space Marine squad. Terminator Lord, 5 Termies, 20 cultists. Compared to my one. Just the Chapter Ancient and Noble Space Marine, whose gene seed will be harvested thanks to the presence of the Apothecary. He'll harvest that valuable gene seed and he'll return to fight for the chapter. But yeah, that's the remnants. That's everything wiped out. We're going into opponent turn 3. See some new objectives generated and see how the fight goes for the forces of chaos. End of the movement phase for the Crimson Slaughter. The possessed have come out of the Land Raider. They forgot that they were sitting in there, you know, all that time, and so they finally decided to hop out. These 2 staying in combat for some reason. Wasted for the Land Raider, but hey, you know, chaos are in chaos. They don't know what they're doing. And these guys all standing still, keeping that objective. My opponent rolled a new tactical objective, which is simply to cast a psychic power. So we're going straight into the psychic phase to give him 1 more chance at a victory point. Very generous. The mighty Battle Psyker has managed to cast Smite successfully, taking off 1 mortal wound on the Rhino over there. He also cast Prescience onto the Land Raider, rolled a Perils and suffered a mortal wound to himself. So he's not doing too well harnessing those psychic energies. But we'll go into the shooting phase and see what happens. Alright, fine. So, no shooting phase. These guys are just moving in closer to secure their charge, which they have charged in. We Overwatch fired back and landed not a single hit, even with Grim Resolve. Nothing happening there in the shooting phase or there to report on. So yeah, so close combats that we're about to throw in. And the possessed rolled 6, so they get 3 attacks each. That's 30 attacks, horrific mutations. We're going to see a repeat of the cultist veterans fight that we had over there. We must pray for our battle brothers here. Alright, fine. So 16 wounds from the possessed, AP -2, into the noble Dark Angels. 5 up saves. Can we make them? Let's see how many survive. We'll come back to you. Alright, so that's 6 successful saves, 10 failed. I spent a command point, I've got 2 more left. I'm going to re-roll one of these dice for the lion, keep 1 of them alive. Oh, all 10 just got mincemeat. How sad. Alright, fine, so end of Crimson Slaughter on turn 3. They massacred a whole tactical squad with these 10 possessed. These guys are going to be in trouble. We need these boys over here to get in and back them up. We shall see what happens as we go there. That's so my opponent got 1 point for manifesting a psychic power, so he's on 2 victory points to my 5. This combat is still ongoing, and these boys are loaded here. So we'll see how things wrap up as we go to turn 3, Dark Angels. Alright, finally, so end of the movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 3. This tactical squad here, ready for the onslaught of the Manic Possessed moving forward. They considered just running over to the boys over here, but no, they're just going to hold the line, never retreat. Rhino moved out of combat and just moved forward. He's looking ready to suicide and detonate on those 2, if possible. But yeah, we'll roll my objectives. And we got Big Game Hunter. So forget get rid of this guy. That's another objective gained for us. I'm on 8, my opponent is on 2. Also to capture objective 4, which is this one here. Then we also got overwhelming firepower, killing unit in the shooting phase, and 44, mission critical objective, which is capture objective 6, which the boys, interrogated chaplain here, and the veterans secured the building that the cultists previously occupied to take that objective there. So we've got that objective taken. Sniper boys here sitting back, firing on. Now there's only a few more targets left in their sights. Champion sitting back here. And yeah, that's our movement. Roll into the shooting phase for some overwhelming firepower. So spending a command point to give Wisdom of the Ancients, the Dreadnought's Knowledge, is going to allow reroll of 1s for this Devastator squad here, as we're looking to seize Big Game Hunter. Alright, so the last of my Devastator squad here, with the Wisdom of the Ancients supporting them, they've already melted this thing down from 9 to 3, getting 6 on the damage. Now we've got D3 damage left and 1 dice roll to make. I've got a command reroll as well, and this will give us it'll give us the overwhelming firepower and Big Game Hunters. So 5 or 6. 1. Last command point. Reroll that. 2. Alright, so end of the Dark Angels on turn 3. No charges. I'm going to take out 2. Oh, 1. 1 possessed. In that shooting phase, we took down the big dog Land Raider there, thanks to the heavy firepower and the Wisdom of the Ancients provided by the Dreadnought, guiding the shot. So we had a victory there. The final blow was actually struck by the Razorback all the way back there. What else happened? Snipers again did nothing. These guys ended up shooting across the building into them, and we took out 2 Space Marines. Oh, nice. And currently I am on, was it 17? Yeah. 17 victory points to my opponent, so I just picked up another 4 at the end of this turn. So we're not doing too bad, as my opponent's on 2 to 17, so a 15-point difference. You know, not an absolute victory just yet. Too early to count my chickens, I think. But I'm doing quite well as my opponent goes in, as we're going to Crimson Slaughter on turn 4. Alright, so turns getting thicker and faster there. My opponent rolled 66 for the priority orders and ended up rolling to secure objective 2, but has to be done with the Warlord, who is handily all the way over here. So I don't think we'll see that one come to fruition. Possessed just moving forward, ready to ravage these guys. Brave, noble Space Marine heroes. And these guys actually moved over to fire some more pot shots at them instead of just getting hailed of fire from these guys. So that is movement. We'll go in and wrap up the game, or wrap up the turn 4. Psychic phase, my opponent, the Master Magician he is, the Dark Magician. He ended up periling himself again, bringing down 1 more wound. Yeah, he's doing pretty good so far. So end of turn 4 for the Crimson Slaughter. The Possessed are unchecked. They're mad. They were furious. They're rolling around just killing Marines as they go. Who will be there to stop them? We don't know. But they just massacred that little squad there. Taking this objective as well, might come in handy for them. But now they've got the might of the Devastator squad, the Wisdom of the Ancient here, ready to guide. The Warlord's killing himself, thankfully. And then these 3 as well. So, quick turn 4. Did you gain an objective? No, you didn't. No, so still on 2. Still on 2. So, very tense, very nail-biting this action, this drama. But we shall go into Dark Angels on turn 4. Right, fine, so end of movement phase for the Dark Angels on turn 4. Apothecary, hasn't done any apothecarying here, he hasn't been needed so far. as all the action's been elsewhere, his skills would have been useful over here. Move the rhino here, just make things a bit trickier for these guys, have to run around. Devastators are ready to unleash fire. Got my new objectives. Area denial, holding the center of the battlefield right here, 6 inches. I get 1 victory, 12 inches. I get D3. So I just need to get rid of these guys, which these guys can handle. We've got the sniper squad here ready as well. Pop out some shots. And that's what our table is looking like. 4 turns of heavy, intense action on the Battle of Ignis, following the ambushing of the Dark Angels, who responded pretty well. These guys are deadly, but I don't think they're going to last much longer. And we'll go into the shooting phase, or psychic phase actually. Alright, fine, so end of turn 4 for the Dark Angels, end of the game there actually. Overwhelming firepower, 2 Melter squad, 2 multi-melters, 2 grav cannons, assault cannons, all the toys, open heavy fire onto the possessed, and they just got ravaged, just torn to shreds. Would you believe, as well, after 4 turns of doing nothing, the snipers over there finally managed to get 2 mortal wounds, 2 6s, onto the wounded sorcerer and snipe them out. That was beautiful. Quick work of them, those 3 by these guys. That wasn't hard at all. And yeah, that leaves turn 4 with complete tabling of my opponent, complete victory for the Dark Angels forces. Yeah, in a long game, I think at the end of that, it's like 20 plus victory points to me. I've got Linebreaker as well. And Slay the Warlord. And yeah, my opponent ended up with 2. It's like 20 something to 2. Pretty challenging game though. I'll do a quick wrap up. Alright, fine. So yeah, end of the game, Dark Angel victory, which is no greater victory for me, my favourite army. I'm glad they managed to pull together and band together. And it was cool to see all the forces of the Greenwing. I have relied too much on Ravenwing and Deathwing reinforcements, so it's cool to see the rest of the army shine, and shine they certainly did. MVP of the game has to go to the Devastator squads. Yeah, I put these guys in the center of the action. I thought they were going to get minced up, but they ended up surviving way longer than we thought. Back in turn 2, when the Land Raider was racing up here, I thought they were going to get minced out by the Possessed, but the Possessed took a different route, ended up heading towards attacks, and then, yeah, luckily, this is the first time we've done the Maelstrom of War missions as well, so the tactical objectives are an interesting flavour. And I was locked out with mines, hey, like all the objectives that I already held, I just got to keep holding them, so that was really lucky for me there. MVP on my opponent's side, those Possessed, damn deadly. They never played like that when I played the Crimson Slaughter. So yeah, maybe got to rethink that, but the Land Raider Possessed combo, that was good. Land Raider not utilised as it should have been. But yeah, interesting, exciting game overall. 75 power level, Chaos versus Imperium. That's what 8th edition is about. That's what the second season of the Battle for Ithaca has all led towards. So Whanau, got to make sure you tune in next week, because it's escalating even further as the Space Wolves, who have been pursuing the Dark Angels since the very first campaign where Dark Angels fought Space Wolves. They've finally caught up to them here on Ignis, and they're going to find themselves in the midst of an ambush by the forces of the Hollow Swarm, the Death Guard. And then that's going to lead to Space Wolves taking on the Death Guard, and then in the final mission of this campaign, these 2 Dark Angel Space Wolves, 2, bit of rivals, bit of enemies. There's a bit of animosity there, the Lion and the Wolf. They're going to have to work together, put aside their differences as they fight off the forces of Chaos here on Ignis and push them out of the Ithaca system. So that's going to get so spicy there, Whanau, as those forces rock up onto the battlefield as well. The Dark Angels can enjoy this victory, and hopefully with securing these vital objectives on the battlefield, they'll be able to call through for the Deathwing and Ravenwing reinforcements for the next time we see them. So definitely spicy there, whanau, and definitely entertainment galore. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you enjoyed this battle report. Give me a like, leave some comments on your favourite parts or other stuff you need to see, or rules areas, all that kind of stuff. Just any comments, even if you put like a full stop as a comment, that's appreciated, because that generates some buzz on the channel and gets me a bit excited there. It swells my heart. I love to see people comment. I really do. No, not really. But yeah, whanau, if you enjoyed it, leave a like, subscribe to the channel for more from me. Go back, watch my other content, plenty of content to view. Let's Play, Shadespire, Walking Dead, Star Wars Legend. I am a jack of all trades, a absolutely handsome guy, so good looking and beautiful to view. And if you think so, comment that as well. But yeah, thanks again, guys. Love doing this. I am the Maoriwargamer. Tune in next week. Space Wolves Death Guard. Ka kite. Anō.